Hello, my lovelies. As we are all aware, we just turned in our second set of souls, and it is time to go hunt for the new set. I have my D4, and we are ready to choose. You step out into the morning mist and find the goat with a mouthful of grass. Terrible tasting stuff. I don't understand this creature's appetite. With luck, you won't have to suffer the mortal whims of a farm animal much longer. After I collect the last souls, you can go back to the void from which you came. The void can wait. You're much better company anyway. But you are correct. There's only one leg left to our journey. The final 4 souls have revealed themselves to me. Where are they this time? 3 linger in spaces you've already tread: the village, the market, and the fields. And the 4th resides far to the north, on the cold slopes of the mountain. I will track them down, no matter where they try to hide. Marvelous. All right. I've got my trusty D4. It's going to be 1 for the hogs, 2 for the stag, 3 for the hawk, and 4 for the wolf. And that is... I don't want to do a 1. It feels unfair to the hogs, but oh, sure, we're going to do the top one on the list first. Let's... 2. Okay, I guess... No, now it's really unfair. All right. So apparently we're going in list order. We'll do the hog. We'll do the hogs, apparently, this episode, and then the stag next episode. I'm going to keep rolling, re-rolling 1s and 2s, to see if we just get 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is a magic D4. That's a 3. Re-rolling a 3. And a 4. So the die has spoken. Okay then. Off we go to the market. Hello, kitties. All right. I think there was a butcher shop. Yeah. Okay, we can't go in there yet. Oh. You look new and also sad, and I can interact with you. Clinging to a raggedy shawl, the old panhandler holds a tin cup with trembling hands. Alms for the poor. A little coin can go a long way. You bow your head respectfully to the aged fellow, dropping in a coin into his cup. From under his ratty hood, the man gleams a silver-toothed grin at you. Thank you, kind miss. A penny for your thoughts, old-timer? I'm afraid my thoughts are a little muddy as of late. Can't seem to recall what day it is, or when the last time I ate was. Last I remember, I was working at the old hog farm with the other unfortunates. Not quite sure how I ended up back here on the streets. I've had more than a few memories abandon me as well. Say, I must have left a few things behind at the farm. Misplaced my boot, and, well, I can't remember what else. I don't suppose you'd do me the kindness of taking a look at the place for me? I'm not as spry as I used to be. At the hog farm, you say? I guess it wouldn't hurt to take a peek. Maybe they have a lost and found. Bless your heart. I do remember that you'll need permission to get through the gates. Those hog sisters run a tight ship. You'll have to go talk to the big hog who runs the butcher shop here in the market. She'll set you up with a work slip. Okay, let's start the hog. Okay. I suppose now we can get in the butcher shop? Um, that's... That's not healthy looking. Ooh. We can take things from the nasty, gross hogs. I mean, that looks like sausages just, or entrails just sitting on the floor. Those are raccoons. This is a disreputable butcher shop for sure. Chopping through a hock of meat with a gigantic cleaver, the surly looking swine merely grunts at you when you approach. Excuse me, I heard that you were the one to talk to about getting a work slip? That what you heard? Well, you heard wrong. We got enough good for nothing workers. Now buzz off. You glance at the halo of flies buzzing around the pig's scalp. Listen, there must be some way to get me a slip. Well, I am running low on ingredients to make a summer sausage. None of these nincompoops can hold two thoughts in their heads. Tell you what, you get me the things I need, and I'll give you your precious work slip. Okay, we need a roast beast, 5 eggs, and why do you need skipper snails for your sausage? Ew. Do I currently have the meat to craft a roast beast? Yes. I just need some witch spice. And we will head to the shore and then to the fields from there, I think. Alright, we need to set this up. Ha-ha! Come to me, wave skipper. Give me your scales. Woot, got 2 and some meat. Right? Oh, this is serendipity. Then down to the fields for some eggy goodness. Hello, cow. You are a fine and handsome cow. All right. That is everything we need. I want to pet the cow. All games are improved when you can pet the animals. I just realized we are literally doing to market to get a fat hog, home again, jiggity jog. Like, literally. Delicious. I have collected your things. Tell you what, you get me the things I need and I'll give you your precious work slip. A unique sausage to be sure. Roast beef. You plop the sweet-smelling hock down onto a relatively clean section of countertop. The pig grunts in acknowledgement. You push the basket of eggs toward the hog. She holds each one up to a candle flame and oinks in apparent satisfaction. Your fishy catch still flops about, gasping for air, but the hog puts a stop to that with her hefty cleaver. Head up the market and go northeast and give this to my sis at the gate. The smell of hot dung ought to guide you to the spot. I can hardly contain myself. Well, go contain yourself at the hog farm before I lose my temper. She slaps a work slip down on the table. The tiny crumpled ticket is flecked with the blood of butchered meat. How very fun. Northeast. Hello, elf. Hello, cow. Well, this'll be fun. Whoa there! No one gets into our hog farm without a work slip. And if you want to work for us, you gotta fit the demographic. And what demographic is that? The kind that don't ask so many stupid questions. Now, you got a work slip or not? You rummage through your satchel. You hand over the slip of paper, and the hog squints at it with her piggy little eyes. Humph. You don't look like you can lift a wheelbarrow, let alone last a good day's work. You're nothing but skin and bones. I've got the work slip, don't I? So let me in. Fine, fine. It's no bacon off my back if you find yourself face down in the mud after your old heart gives out. I think we're going to make the executive decision to not collect clay in the pig farm. Hey, no piggies. This slop trough is overflowing with filth, like something is clogging the drainage hole. A thorough cleaning should dislodge the obstacle. Okay, I know we don't have water, but what else do we need? Okay, we just need 3 jars of water for that one. Let's collect our... This gaggle of workers appears to be squabbling over something. Hand it over, I saw it first! Fat chance, you already got those good leg wraps while I was still going barefoot. Give it here. You see the object of their contention, a dirty old boot. Ah, that must be my friend's forgotten piece of footwear. The workers ignore you and continue fighting over their pathetic prize. We need 3 elf shoes and a growth potion for that set. Okay. You are larger and greener than the other pigs. This particular pig looks a bit green in the face, and the odors emanating from it are somehow even worse than the local bouquet. What's the matter, Hamlet? Did you eat something that didn't agree with you? Some stomach medicine ought to sort you out. We need some digestive Oh, that's a look. Do we have what we need to make digestive tablets? We can make a digestive tablet. Let's take care of you. This particular pig looks a bit green in the face, and the odors emanating from it are somehow even worse than the local bouquet. Oof. Not the pickiest eater, the 6th swine eagerly gobbles up the antacid you offer it. You hear a bubbling sound coming from the pig's stomach and decide it's best to avert your eyes from the horrors of the natural process. When you look back, the pig has fallen asleep in the mud, looking much happier with its state of being. You turn your attention to the aftermath and gawk at the obvious cause of the beast's indigestion. A large bone sticks out of the filth. Okay, the first clue is a large bone. I do not like a small pig that runs around whipping people. Looks like now we can come and go as we please, so I guess the work slip doesn't count for much? Not after the first entry, anyway. Alright, we need elf shoes, which means we will need to make shiny lures. Alright, so we're definitely going to need fireflies and sticks. So we need to go to the forest. Oh, do we have what we need to make the jars? We do. 3 jars. Just need to find the water source. Have you found my things? I feel so bad for him. This is what I get for making extra wicker work. Oh, let's get the fireflies. Trying to be a little efficient. Is that everyone? Can we make more wicker work? Oh, we're out of twine. Well, we can make 2 of the 3 that we need. Oh, where is the easiest water without going to a whole bunch of different zones? Don't we need a pumpkin jack bone? I think we need a pumpkin jack bone for the growth potion. Oh, we need apothecary humors, magic paste. We have plenty of flower petals. Yep, we need some frog slime. That's easy enough. And we will need a jar of milk, so we will need another jar. And we're out of clay again. Let's get some twine. Apparently their egg zone is actually pretty big. Or small, I should say. Cannot say I am not a little grateful. Alright, to the swamp for frog slime. Oh, hello, lovely. No, we're not going to irritate you today. Excellent. Alright, we have that. We need frog slime. Alright, we have 3 shiny lures, which should be good for 3 elf shoes. We need the apothecary humors, which we should now have. We need the magic paste, which requires milk, and we have everything else we need for it. I think the fastest way back... Yay, I'm starting to memorize the map a little. Right, into the fields for the moo juice. Hello, my dear friend cow. Excellent. Thank you for your service. That means we can make the growth potion, which doesn't need a pumpkin jack bone. I am grateful to be mistaken. Alright, back to the market for some elf shoes. Someday I shall be able to pet all of the kitties in every game, and all of the puppers, and everything will be coming up adorable animals for Edith. That's one. I just need one more little elf guy. One. Yay! Excellent. 3 pairs of shoes. And now back to the pig farm for the figuring out of the stuff. Yeah, she's not checking her stuff anymore. Oh, I'm glad he's happy now. The workers ignore you and continue fighting over their pathetic prize. Surely there must be a way to make everybody happy. You put down the minuscule slippers. They won't be big enough for anybody. You pop the cork on the growth potion. You sprinkle a couple of carefully measured drops of the growth potion onto the tiny shoes. They make a sound like popcorn and burst into a size much more accommodating to human feet. The bickering workers look over at the source of the noise, and their eyes go wide. Hey, look! Are those new shoes? Dropping the old boot in the mud, they rush over to try on the new footwear. Check it out! They got jangly bells on the toes! The beggar's old boot lies discarded in the muck. I think we just need to purify that trough. You flush out the disgusting container, eventually getting to the root of the drainage problem. Something small and metallic plops into the muck. That's odd. I doubt any of the pigs around here have had that much dental work done. There's a silver tooth. You sort through the collection of objects you've accrued. A silver tooth, a human bone, and a chewed boot. Not sure what happened in this horrible place, but I've got a suspicion that old beggar may have lost more than just his memories here. I better go see him. He'll be missing his boot at the very least. I do not like this implication. This is sad. Oh sure, now there's elves all over the place. Oh, you've returned. Did you have any luck finding my... what was it I lost again? You place the collected remains in front of the man. Do any of these look familiar to you? Oh, that's my favorite boot. Was wondering where that got off to. But what are these? The man runs his fingers over the bone and silver tooth with creeping realization crossing his face. His skin begins to take on an ephemeral pallor. Am I dead? It would certainly appear that way. Don't feel too bad. These sorts of things have a way of sneaking up on us. But, I remember now. I was up at the hog farm, but I was too old, too weak to work. The sisters, they said I was useless. They threw me in the feed trough. And then, all those hungry pigs. Oh, no. How could they do this to me? All my life I was starving. I had to beg for table scraps, and then they fed me to the pigs. I'm very sorry things ended this way. We ought to hold a feast to honor your life properly. A feast? I've never had a feast. Where would we get the food, and who would come? Everyone I know is slaving away for those horrible sows. You cast a glance at the nearby communal cooking pot. I think I have a solution to both of those problems. Don't you worry. I'll make sure you have a meal to remember. Ooh, a communal cooking pit. This pit has seen its fair share of community cookouts. Though it isn't in the best shape, it will be enough for what you have in mind. Now then, what should be on the menu? You clap your hands together hungrily. I think pork would be most appropriate. First, I'll have to fashion the proper container. A feast need not be flesh and blood, if the spirit is hungry. A swine-shaped vessel will do in a pinch. I need to make a porcine effigy. Oh, I need some more wicker work and a creepy dolly thing. A haunted mannequin. I have nothing for the haunted mannequin. We're going to be running around for a bit. Okay, first to the swamp. Let's find some skeeter. And while we're here, and then off we are to the graveyard. Now I believe we get ectoplasm off of these guys. We need an exorcism charm. Oh, we're gonna need to get some more sticks, that's for sure. But first, we need some bat wings, which means we need some bait stick. And we're out of sticks. Well, here is hoping that this guy drops 2 wings. Well, phooey. We definitely need to go back to the forest for some sticks. I believe you, sir, I believe you are where we get a skull from. And I believe we will have everything we need to make spirit salts. Back to the forest for some sticks. Thank you, stick, for your service. Let's work our way north and get some more twine while we're here. Did that log seriously yield no sticks? Ooh. I did not realize this was here. I don't think we've ever come this way. Okay, there's a couple wicker worth of sticks. So we need to lure a bat so that we can exorcise an antlered ghost so that we can craft an effigy. I bet he gives us 2 wings. Oh, look at that. Oh, sometimes I am hilarious when I am right. Let's exorcise the demon. I need your ectoplasms. Now we can make the haunted mannequin. And I think that means we can make the porcine effigy now. Yes. Perfecto. Back to the market. First, I'll have to fashion the proper container. A feast need not be flesh and blood if the spirit is hungry. A swine-shaped vessel ought to do the trick. You set the tiny false creature among the ashes of the cooking pot. It wriggles and squeals with impotent hunger. Now to fatten up this little piggy, I'll start with the smallest pig sister. But I'll need to collect something special to bind her spirit. I need the small pig's switch. I don't see her as being willing to give it up easily. She enjoys whipping the others a little too well. You can hear the runty swines squealing even before you see her. Holding her crop high, she busies herself admonishing a cluster of poor workers. I ought to feed your useless rumps to the meat grinder, you filthy mongrels! Do we pay you to work or to sleep? They recoil from their taskmaster's lashes. You don't pay us at all. Say there, You seem to have gotten an awful lot of use from that grotty old switch. What would you say to a trade? What? A trade? I've had this whipper ever since I was a wee suckling. No way, no how am I giving up my precious little flog. I need to make a Lashmaster 2000, because every pig has her price. We need a skeeter snoot, a rat tail, and a pumpkin jack bone. Alright. We need a sewing kit, which will require a skeeter snoot. And then we will need an additional skeeter snoot. So we need 2 skeeter snoots. Oh, that means we will need some clay smoke pellet. Which means we need frog slime. Why is it always frog slime? Well, either way, we must away to the swamp. Alright, first frog slime. Because we need that to make the smoke pellets. I'll get you, my pretty. Your little frog, too. Let's make a couple. Because while you can sometimes get more than one skeeter, you cannot always. I remember the skeeter. Yeah, come on, guys. Aggro. Get closer to each other. Chase me down. I get all 3 of them? Oh, I'll be so excited if I did. Oh, glorious. I did it. Do I have 4 skeeter snoots? I am a glorious creature. I'm gonna need another rat tail. What did you use for rats? I'll look it up in a minute. Alright, to the fields for a pumpkin jack bone. Ooh, a steak. Alright, there's a pumpkin jack. And a thwack, and a bone. Alright, all we need is another rat tail. I'm pretty sure there were rat nests in the market. Yep, there's a rat nest. Or cobblestones. Whichevs. I could have sworn there's one. Right. Oh, we just need a snap trap. Oh, I hope we can make a snap trap. Oh my goodness. That was a little closer than I would have liked. Excellent. That should be all that we need. Back we go. What? A trade? I've had this whipper ever since I was a wee suckling. No way, no how am I giving up my precious little flog. But every pig has her price. The Lashmaster 2000. Is that a Lashmaster 2000? With extra stinging barbs and a rawhide non-slip grip? The one and only. I thought you were doing such an excellent job keeping these poor exploited souls under your hoof that you deserved a reward. She snatches the whip out of your hands with glee, tossing her old straw lash in the mud without a second glance. Not even saying thank you, she scampers off to test her newly acquired motivational tool on unsuspecting farm workers. With any luck, she won't have much time to put it to use. Oh, that didn't feel good. Alright, back to the cooking pit. Now to fatten up this little piggy. I'll start with the smallest pig sister, but I'll need to collect something special to bind her spirit. Only an item with a deep personal connection will do. The small pig's switch. You feed the ratty straw whip into the mouth of the porcine effigy. Despite the thing not having any teeth, you distinctly hear the sound of crunching as it chews up its first meal. The effigy shudders and swells in size, becoming a healthy-sized piglet made of straw. One down, two to go. For the feast to go off without a hitch, I'll need to gather up something important from that swinish middle sister. She's bound to have a token I could use. We need the tall pig's club. Hey, you! You're the one that gave my little sister that souped-up whipper, ain't you? Well, I do twice as much work as that stinking twerp. This old beaten stick has served me well for these long years, but if she gets an upgrade, then why shouldn't I? We need the Magnum Browbeater. Sibling rivalry will be the death of them. Okay. We need the barnacles we have. We need the shiny stone, which needs dog hair, which we already have a soporific treat. Yay! Oh, we can just make the big stick. I think the nearest doggo is that charming fellow in the graveyard. Because he is right by the entrance. Besides which, I simply haven't given him a treat yet. Unacceptable. Hello, handsome man. Thank you for your service. What? I think that was the only thing I needed. Yes. Perfect. I wonder what kind of cleaver we're gonna make for the biggest sister. This old beaten stick has served me well these long years, but if she gets an upgrade, then why shouldn't I? Sibling rivalry will be the death of them. I'm gonna give her the Magnum Browbeater. The sow takes a few test swings with her new cudgel, making you duck for safety. Aha! Now that's more like it. Solid build, perfect balance. You won't be needing that cracked old stick anymore. I'll just take it off your hands. Huh? Sure, whatever. It's as good as firewood now. She ignores you and goes looking for pine cones or small animals to take a swing at. Luckily, she's slow and her eyes are bad, so we shall take her stick. One down, two to go. For this feast to go off without a hitch, I'll need to gather something important from that swinish middle sister. She's bound to have a token I could use. The tall pig's club. You chop up the well-weathered cudgel into bite-sized pieces and offer them to the small effigy. It wastes no time gobbling up the bits of wood and crunching them to splinters. Satisfied with its second meal of sticks, the simulated pig rumbles and once again grows in size. This ham is almost ready for dinner. It just needs one more helping of soul food. Something special from that brutish butcher should be the last ingredient I need. Oh, we're going to make a whetstone. Well, it's better than a knife. You see the enormous swine hacking apart a haunch of meat with her cleaver. Its dull and chipped blade has clearly seen better days. She sneezes heavily before wiping a glob of snot with the back of her hand. You again. What do you want now? As your dutiful employee, I've been taking it upon myself to improve your meat business. That whetstone of yours looks like it's not doing a great job of keeping your tools sharp. She raises an eyebrow at the worn slab of a grindstone sitting on the countertop. I suppose it might be time to replace the old girl. Just think of how much more brutal you could be with a brand new sharpener. We need to make the Magisharp XL. What is the recipe? Okay, we need 3 rabbit feet from the mountain. I don't even know how to get to the mountain yet. Okay, we have goblin snot. We need a gnome hat, which means we need to make... Okay, we need changeling root, I believe. Yeah, we need changeling root. Let's get the gnome hat, and then we'll figure out how to get to the forest. To the fields! Alright. Oh, we need 2 changeling roots. I love them so much. Thank you. I am such a proud papa. Oh! Oh, I love how they just run things on their own. Okay, I think that's everything but the rabbit feet. Let's see if the map that goes into the forest goes to the apiary. None of the ways out of the fields are giving the hog sigil. Let's try the forest. Look at the wolf in the village. The stag on the mountain. Okay, so that way should get us to a big old stag. And the stag is on the mountain. It said the rabbit foots were on the mountain. The rabbit feet. Heckin' plural vowel declension. Germanic root words. Making me have to do weird stuff with plurals. Oh, there is a bunny! Snap trap. Oh, please let me have enough stuff to make a wicker work. Okay, there's one rabbit foot. Do I have enough to make the doodad? It needs 3, so we're gonna probably need 3 more snap traps. Or 2 more. Unless we get lucky, and like bats, these occasionally drop more than 1 foot. What are you? Frostling. Oh my goodness, it's adorable. But we're looking for a bunny. And whatever the fast travel is to get to here. Oh good, the little bushes give sticks. Oh, and the little bird was a cardinal up here. Okay. That looks like a quest start for the stag. He is next, but not yet. There's a bunny. There's 2 bunnies. Please catch a bunny and not a bird. Come on. Okay. Rather than blunder into the stag, who is next episode, off-putting snowman, because there's got to be a fast travel zone. There's a way here through the village. What are you? Crystal Newt. He is pretty. Apparently we're looking for an off-putting snowman. Oh. No less crudely constructed than the other snowmen that surround it, something is nevertheless off about this one in particular. Whether it's the too many limbs, the stitched mouth, or the trio of antlers, it irresistibly beckons your touch. And as soon as your fingertips touch its cold surface, it falls completely to pieces. The rifted wood. Oh, that's cool. Back to the marketplace. Oh, let's craft the thing before we attempt to take the thing. What? Oh, I need another turkey gizzard stone. I completely missed it. And I need an eye of newt, which means I need a bait stick, which means I need to go to the swamp before I can go to the fields. Well, I'm glad I checked before I went in with the hog. Alright, we need to find one of those logs. Perfect. Do you have a lizard in you? Also perfect. Come on, give me that eyeball. Yay, eyeballs. Alright, now we need to go accost a turkey in the fields. Alright, let's get that solo turkey down by the thieves. Oh. Why do they have to be so cute? Alright, now we should be able to make the lucky strop. Oh. I was about to say, what do you mean I can't make it? I could, and I did. That's why I didn't have any more goblin snot. But this is the last pig. Just think of how much more brutal you could be with a brand new sharpener. She doesn't know the half of it. Magisharp XL. The sow slowly grinds the blade of her cleaver across the new whetstone, sending flecks of rust flying. She plucks a hair from her own chin and tests the keenness of the edge by splitting it in half. Oh, not bad at all. Go on, take this old stone and throw it in the trash bin. Is this an old brick? No wonder it didn't sharpen anything. I like how every time it has gotten bigger. This ham is almost ready for dinner. Just needs one more helping of soul food. Something special from that brutish butcher will be the last ingredient I need. A symbol of sympathetic magic, the big pig's whetstone. You toss the old brick into the effigy's ravenous maw, and it cracks it to dust within moments. With its final meal of bricks, the porcine simulacrum swells to monstrous proportions. A rattling laugh chills your blood as the old man's spirit looks upon your work. Ha ha! What a proper beggar's feast this is! I thank you for the kind gesture, but I still don't see how this will bring justice to those wretched swine. Just you wait. I have to fire up the barbecue first. Craft a cinder box for the cooking pit, if we can. Striking a spark into the pit, you set the tinder alight. You take a step back, watching the orange flames leap high into the air. The porcine effigy blackens as you tend the fire and fuss over the coals. A succulent aroma begins to waft on the wind. The old man licks his translucent lips hungrily. I swear, I can almost smell a delicious roast. Oh, if only it were real. Over the sound of crackling logs, you hear a crowd of footsteps come padding down the road toward the cooking pit. Over here. I knew I smelled something good. It's the others. My friends, you've come back. Eesh, a ghost! No, wait. Is that old man McGraw? Say it ain't so, old-timer. When you never showed up for morning head count, we all feared the worst. It's true. I ended up as pig food. Can you believe that? I worried you would all face the same fate as me. However, did you escape the hog farm? It was the strangest thing. The swine sisters started complaining about the weather being too hot, even though it's pretty chilly if you ask me. All of a sudden, they bolted out into the woods, squealing all the way. Left the gate open and everything. Then we smelled something delightful in the breeze and couldn't resist. It's been so long since we've had anything other than pig slop. Gosh, that smells so good. Is it barbecue? Where did you get all that food? In place of the brick, sticks, and straw, the porcine effigy has split into a mountain of delectable, sizzling meats. Ham, sausage, bacon! It looks so delicious! What a wonder! It truly is a feast. Thank you. What did I tell you? Enjoy yourself a little while longer and be at peace. The starving crowd happily helps themselves to the feast, cheering, laughing, and praising the old ghost's name. You see something twinkle amongst the cooling coals of the cooking pit. Warm to the touch, you pick out a piece of greasy grizzle from the soot. On closer inspection, it appears to be 3 separate chunks. 1 fat piece, 1 long piece, and 1 small piece. The souls of the pigs. Well, that is quest completed for the hog in the market. Well, we have dealt with 3 little pigs. Now let's go home again, jiggity jig. Well, that has been the hog in the market. Tune in next time for the stag on the mountain. I've been Edith Ivy. If you have enjoyed this content, please leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I hope you are having a happy time zone wherever in the world you are, and I will see you next time.